Have you heard of the terms empowering and disempowering? Disempowering stories is one of the terms that we use in life coaching a lot. A disempowering story or sentence is our words and feelings that we keep telling ourselves and believe in deeply that keep us in our comfort zone, that keep us from facing the fears of larger growth of a more fulfilling life. A disempowering story has words like helpless, angry, sad, frustration, depression, so many others, feeling like a victim, feeling stuck, etc. And they make us, or feeling unworthy, and they make us stay where we are in our lives and taking bold steps. It keeps us from taking the risks or facing the fears that we may need in our life to move past situations, people, thoughts, and beliefs that are really not serving us in our lives. And as women, I hear this so much. The more and more that I'm talking and I'm coaching, I hear other women tell me how they're living in a disempowering, unhealthy marriage, where women are feeling stuck, they're feeling abused, they're feeling oppressed, or they're feeling like they're really not loved, being taken for granted, and giving more and more of themselves, literally dissolving themselves, and really still receiving rejection in return. And here's how disempowering stories start. They start somewhere way back in our lives, oftentimes in our childhood, in our teenage years, when something happened or somebody said or did something that reminds us, that made us believe something about ourselves that is unhealthy, that is toxic, that is disempowering. Like, I am not worthy, like I am not good enough, like I don't deserve, like I am helpless. There's some story, some event, something happened that impacted your life that made you create that story and belief about yourself. And that is a story that once we believe in it, it represses and stays in our subconscious mind and makes us want to live that story subconsciously over and over again, which means that we're going to go and find situations, people, events, and things that will prove that story, because that's a belief. And anything that's against that belief is going to be automatically rejected by us. Let me give you an example. I have it written on my board over here that now I'm ready to leave gluten. And it's scary for me to imagine now that I don't eat dairy, I'm giving up processed sugar, and now to give up gluten, especially just wheat, which is such a deep, integral part of the Indian diet. And I'm an Indian. And I've kept telling myself that story, this empowering story, that this is hard, that it's not possible, and then there's a whole thought loop that goes around where I'll prove to myself in my mind why it's not possible. Because I cook for my family, they all eat it, because I'm an Indian and we eat things that involve gluten, because my life is so busy, and etc. and etc. And so I had it written on the board where I made a big smiley face with believe, I believe, and I crossed out gluten, dairy, sugar, and I wrote fruits, vegetables, and something else. And today, I caught myself eating a snack right now that had gluten and processed sugar in it. And I said, my disempowering story was, I'm hungry, I need to eat, I'll eat whatever is in front of me, because, etc. And I caught myself and I said, if I believe that it's going to be hard, I'm going to prove that it's going to be hard. So our beliefs can have such a strong influence on our decisions and choices and actions. And I had to go back to my belief and say, that's a belief that I'm creating, a story that I am creating about my life. I pushed it aside, and I immediately opened the refrigerator to see that I had food ready for myself in the refrigerator when I'm hungry, to just go grab it, which doesn't have processed sugar, doesn't have dairy, doesn't have gluten. So I had food ready for myself, but I did not look for it because I had a belief system that it's going to be hard to give up gluten. And so I went out into my pantry and found gluten to eat. So if this gives you a good example of how in the larger scenario of life, we keep living our stories of staying angry. People who have anger issues, you're living off a story there where you believe something about yourself that happened way back in your life that wants you to keep that anger. Or when you believe that I am meant to be in a toxic marriage, I'm meant to be abused, my life is over, I'm meant to live a life like that. Are meant to be helpless, people who are feeling depressed about something related to even health issues or terminal illnesses that you or your family members have had, all of those belief systems, are they even helping and serving you? And if not, there's a way to get rid of them. There's a way to release that and start living a life that is toxic free, with empowering stories, with healthy, fulfilling things to bring, and people to bring into your life. I had a powerful coaching session just an hour ago with a client, and she was amazed at what she discovered when she gave up her disempowering stories. I am so excited to share more and more of this work with all of you guys. I'm willing to hear more about you. This is Rima Desai, the Guiding Star. I'm a women empowerment coach, a kids mentor, and a spiritual coach, wanting to move women into a larger, more fulfilling, bigger self-expression life, where they feel that they have the choices to live the life the way they feel they want to and they deserve. Bye-bye.